Good morning, everybody, and welcome. This is the regular business meeting of the Mason County Commission for March 26, 2024. We're going to go ahead and begin with our Pledge of Allegiance. Roger, would you do us the honor of leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
Commissioner District 3, Sharon Trask.
I'm here.
Item number 4, we have a quorum. Item number 4 is correspondence and organizational business. Mackenzie, what do you have for correspondence for us today?
Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board sent in the following. Notice of liquor license application for Lotus Garden, DBA The Rice Bowl. Cannabis license renewal applications. Liquor license renewal applications. Special occasion liquor license for the Humane Society of Mason County. Notice of cannabis license application for Platinum Gardens and CM1 LLC. Cannabis processor license approval for Sensei Traders. And cannabis producer license and cannabis producer tier 3 license for DJR1 Investment, and discontinued liquor license for Hood Canal Outfitters. Comcast Pacific Northwest Region sent in notice regarding changes to Xfinity TV services, and the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission sent in responses to FERC annual DSI comments for the Cushman project.
Excellent. Item number 4.2, National Public Health Week Proclamation. Ian.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ian Tracy, Maryland Health. There we go. Whereas
Just for the rest of the world out there in Zoom land, he hasn't done this before, and we've told him just how dangerous and scary it is.
Whereas the week of April 1st through 7th, 2024 is National Public Health Week, and the theme is protecting, connecting, and thriving. We are all public health. And whereas since 1995, the American Public Health Association, through its sponsorship of National Public Health Week, has educated the public, policymakers, and public health professionals about issues important to improving the public's health. And whereas a person's health status can differ drastically due to differences in the built environment, environmental quality, community context, access to healthy food, access to education, and access to health care. And whereas there is a significant decrease in health status among persons who are more likely to face social determinants that negatively impact health, such as racism, poverty, adverse childhood experiences, transportation barriers, and lack of economic opportunity. And whereas public health professionals help communities prevent, prepare for, withstand, and recover from the full impact of a full range of health threats, including disease outbreaks such as the COVID-19 pandemic, tuberculosis, natural disasters, and disasters caused by human activity. And whereas public health action, together with scientific and technological advances, has played a major role in reducing and eliminating the spread of infectious diseases and in establishing today's disease surveillance and control systems. And whereas studies show that relatively small strategic investments in disease prevention can result in significant savings in healthcare costs. And whereas efforts to adequately support public health and the prevention of disease and injury can continue to transform a health system focused on treating illness into a health system focusing on preventing disease and injury and promoting wellness. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Mason County Commissioners hereby proclaims April 1st through 7th, 2024 as National Public Health Week and encourages all county officials, employees, schools, and residents to observe this week by celebrating the value of public health and improving the quality of life for all its communities. Signed this day of March 26, 2024.
Thank you. How much you want to bet the next time he brings one forward is shorter? How much you want to bet? Great job, though, Ian. You did great. Okay, next up is item number 4.3, Child Abuse Prevention Month proclamation. Diane Roger.
Good morning, Diane Zorn, Central Services Manager. This is Roger Jones from Family Education and Support Services. They've requested that we proclaim April as Child Abuse Prevention Month. So I too have a proclamation, not as long, thank goodness, but. So, whereas Mason County recognizes our future rests in the hands of our most vulnerable and cherished assets, our children, And whereas all children deserve to live in safe, stable, and nurturing environments which promote their healthy growth and development. And whereas child abuse, neglect, and other trauma are recognized as serious public health problems affecting both the current and future quality of life in our community. And whereas it is the responsibility of our community to ensure parents, caregivers, and other adults who influence the health and well-being of children have the support, knowledge, and concrete resources necessary to ensure all children thrive to their greatest potential. And whereas effective child abuse prevention strategies succeed because of partnerships among agencies, schools, religious organizations, law enforcement agencies, healthcare providers, and the business community. And whereas we as Mason County residents continue our commitment to protecting all members of our community and call upon all citizens to join together to increase public safety and prevent the further abuse and neglect of our children. And now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Mason County Commissioners hereby proclaim April 2024 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Mason County and urge all citizens, communities, state agencies, faith groups, medical facilities, elected leaders, medical providers, educators, and businesses to increase their participation efforts to support families, thereby helping prevent child abuse and strengthening the community in which we live.
Thank you.
Did you want to say anything?
Yes, well, Family Education Support Services, we have an office out here on Johns Ferry Road, and we serve all of Mason County as well as Thurston and Lewis County. And the symbol for Child Abuse Prevention Month is pinwheels, so I'd like to present everyone here with a pinwheel to remind you of Child Abuse Prevention Month and just whatever we can do to help support families. Our agency does a lot of parenting classes and helps families to stay healthy and supported. So I'd like to,
Yeah, we'll take a moment and let you come on up.
so.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay,
Thank you.
so next up is item number 4.4, which is National County Government Month proclamation. And just to let you know, Commissioner Schutt will be doing number 5.
Oh,
So you,
great.
yeah.
All right, here we go. Proclamation National County Government Month, April of 2024. Whereas the nation's 3,069 counties serving more than 330 million Americans provide essential services to create healthy, safe, and vibrant communities. And whereas counties fulfill a vast range of responsibilities and deliver services that touch nearly every aspect of our residents' lives, such as providing health services, administrative justice, keeping communities safe, fostering economic opportunities, and so much more. And whereas Mason County and all counties take pride in our responsibility to protect and enhance the health, well-being, and safety of our residents in efficient and cost-effective ways. And whereas under the leadership of National Association of Counties President Mary Jo McGuire, NACO is highlighting county leadership through the lens Forward Together, celebrating the role of county governments in connecting, inspiring, and leading as intergovernmental partners. And whereas the role includes a responsibility to inspire county residents to engage with their communities and to lead by highlighting our strength as intergovernmental partners. And whereas each year since 1991, the National Association of Counties has encouraged counties across the country to elevate awareness of county responsibilities, programs, and services. Now, therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Mason County Commissioners hereby proclaims April 2024 as National County Government Month and encourages all county officials, employees, schools, and residents to participate in county government celebration activities. Signed this day, April 9th, 2024.
Thank you. Next up, item number 4.5, National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week proclamation. Our commissioner serves on their board, so he's going to do the honors of reading it to us.
Yeah, absolutely. National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, April 14th through 20th, 2024. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, or emergency medical services, and whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property. And whereas the safety of our police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who telephone the MACECOM Emergency Communications Center. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our residents have with emergency services. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers and firefighters by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them information, and ensuring their safety. And whereas public safety telecommunicators of MACECOM have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients. And whereas each dispatcher has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job in the past year, especially under difficult circumstances. And now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Mason County Commissioners hereby proclaims April 14th through 20th, 2024 as National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in Mason County in honor of the dispatchers whose diligence and professionalism keep our community and residents safe. Signed this day of March 26, 2024.
Thank you, Commissioner. Is there any other correspondence or organizational business to come before us today?
There is none.
Okay. With that, we will move on to item number 5, which is our open forum for citizens input. This is your opportunity to speak to the commission and the public on any item that's not on the agenda. If it's on the agenda, we ask that you wait. You'll be given an opportunity to speak and at that time and have it taken off for a separate vote if that's what you choose. With that being said, is there anybody in the room that would like to speak on an item not on the agenda? Hearing none. Is there anybody in the Zoom room that would like to speak on an item not on the agenda? If so, please raise your hand or unmute yourself and say your name and I'll call on you. Hearing none, we will move forward to item number 6, which is the adoption of today's agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move adoption of today's agenda as presented.
I'll second.
It has been moved and seconded for the adoption of today's agenda as presented. Any polls or comments or? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 7, approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the February 5th, February 12th, February 26th, March 4th, and March 11th briefing minutes, and the February 13th and February 27th regular minutes.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded for the approval of the minutes for February 5th, February 12th, February 26th, March 4th, and March 11th of 2024, all briefing minutes, and February 13th, February 27th of 2024, our regular meeting minutes. Any comments or polls on that? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Next up is item number 8, which is our approval of our action agenda. All items on the action agenda will be read into the record for the public, and after it's read into the record, you'll be given an opportunity to either ask a question to help you to decide whether you want it pulled for a separate vote, and if you want to testify, that's what you'd have to do, or we can go ahead and just pull it straight out for a separate vote if you'd like. With that being said, I will take items number 8.1 through 8.3. Commissioner Schutte, if you wouldn't mind taking 8.4 through 8.6, and 8.7, 8, and 9, if you wouldn't mind, Sharon. With that, item number 8.1, approval of warrants and treasurer's electronic remittance. Claims Clearing Fund, warrants number 810333 through 8103-776. The amount, $1,803,207.65. Direct Deposit Fund, warrants number 104-547 through 104-958. The amount, $882,025.29. Salary Clearing Fund, warrants number 7007981 through 7008017. The amount, $1,183,000 or $183,176.67. Item number 8.2, approval of the North Mason Regional Fire Authority Mental Health Wellness Program contract to provide a licensed psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, HNP for the amount of $75,000 from the treatment sales tax, the TST, special project funding. Item number 8.3, approval to set a public hearing for Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024 at 9:15 a.m. to consider changes to the Mason County Code, Chapter 13, which is utilities, and minor updates to Chapter 2, 3, and 17.
Mr. Chair, item 8.4, approval to purchase a replacement grooming mower for the Parks and Trails Department for the amount of $22,918.83. Item 8.5, approval of the resolution selecting the Shelton Mason County Journal as the official county newspaper for publishing certain legal publications. Did I do something wrong?
Go ahead.
Item 8.6, approval for the chair to sign the annual certification for calendar year 2023, certification of expenditures for traffic law enforcement for 2023, and certification for expenditures for fish passage barrier removal for 2023 through the County Road Administration Board's reporting system of cars.
Item 8.7, approval for the county administrator to sign the extension of the current professional services agreement with Cabot Dow Associates through December 31st, 2025, to include an additional $30,000. Item 8.8, approval of the letter of support for Public Utility District 3's community project funding request for 2025, Girlsboro Switching Station. Item 8.9, approval of the letter of support for the Youth Connections application for fiscal year 25, congressionally directed spending for transitional housing for homeless young people.
Thank you. First of all, I apologize, Commissioner, my eyes are playing tricks on me today.
Oh, it's all good.
Chemo eyes today. Okay, so with that, now that it's been read into the record, now's your opportunity to ask a question which would help you to decide whether or not to have it taken off for a separate vote. If you would like to have it taken off for a separate vote and like to testify, please do so with that as well. Is there anybody in the room who would like to ask a question? Is there anybody in Zoom land that would like to ask a question? If so, raise your hand or unmute yourself, say your name, and I'll call on you. With that being said, Commissioners, are there any items you'd like taken off for a separate vote?
Not me.
Anybody in the audience like an item taken off for a separate vote? Is there anybody in Zoom land who would like an item taken off for a separate vote? Say your name, please, and unmute yourself. Actually, unmute yourself first, then say your name. Seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve items 8.1 through 8.9 on our action agenda.
It has been moved and seconded for the approval of the action agenda in its entirety, item number 8.1 through 8.9. Any comments?
Me.
Just, I'm hoping that people really look at the action agenda and understand how much work goes into all of this. Also want to thank Mackenzie, because we throw a lot of things at her during the briefing meetings to add to our agenda, and she does a great job, so thank you, Mackenzie.
And my desk is right outside, and she has not thrown anything at me yet. But we do buy food to make up for it sometimes. And for myself, I'd like to make a comment. We are doing something again with Cabot Dow. It's been an excellent partnership in working with them, and they've been excellent working with our staff, and so an extra special thank you to Cabot Dow. All right, with that, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. All right, next up, other businesses, department heads and elected officials. Are there any department heads or elected officials that would like to speak? Please.
I'd just like to remind the public that we have our first salary commission meeting tonight. So this is a salary commission that will come in and determine the salaries of all of our elected officials, except for our prosecuting attorney and our judges, which are determined by the state. So that'll be at 5:30. Diedrich is going to be here to video that, so individuals can watch it online if they'd like. And there will be a Zoom option if they have a public comment period and people would like to comment on that. So welcome all the participation. If people have questions about that process or how we go about it, it's going to be an open public process this year, so looking forward to it.
And for those who don't know, that was our administrator, Mark Neary, the county
sorry.
administrator. Is there anybody else in the room who would like to speak to us regarding department heads or elected officials who would like to speak? Are there any department heads or elected officials on the Zoom room that would like to say anything at this time? If so, please unmute yourself, say your name. I see none, I see some up there, but, okay.
Mr. Chair,
yes.
I was wondering if Auditor Dunkel, if he is indeed with us, if he could maybe talk a little bit about the, using the facility in Belfair, for voting center. Just curious about if they tracked how many constituent contacts they had coming through up there.
Mr. Auditor, are you on?
I am on, and I don't have those statistics, Commissioner Schutte, but I'll get them to you. We just had a ballpark number. They didn't keep track of each individual voter that sought services from the voting center up in Belfair.
Would you say that there were many or none, few?
It was I think it was double-digit numbers of people. It wasn't.
Something like that, though.
Wasn't a huge number, but I'll get you a better count.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
no, I appreciate that. I think I'm just curious because I want to know what the demand is, and I think as we start to think about how to utilize that facility, it's good to know who's
I will say
accessing
that
it.
people that did take advantage of the temporary voting center were really pleased with the convenience and not having to drive all the way down to Shelton. So the feedback was overwhelmingly positive.
And I'm sure it's the first one.
Yeah.
It always grows with time.
Yeah, I think that's why it's important to just track and see how much it's.
I agree, Commissioner.
People are starting to realize they can take advantage of that. That's great.
Yeah. All right, is there any other elected official or department head who would like to say anything? Hearing none, I'm gonna go ahead and move forward. Item number 10 is public hearings, and we have none. So we're gonna move to item number 11, which is board calendars and reports. Commissioner Trask, Commissioner Schutte, and then myself, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This afternoon, we have our Board of Health meeting. Tonight, I have a Lincoln Day dinner planning meeting out at Alderbrook Golf. Tomorrow, Turning Point Board meeting. Tomorrow night is a Washington State Association of County Board meeting. We have a special economic development meeting, ribbon cutting celebration, Public Works Board Executive Committee, Pack Mountain elected meetings, Sheriff's Breakfast, and then I will be meeting with a constituent on Friday afternoon. Saturday is my nephew's birthday. Happy birthday, Damien. Sunday, don't forget it's Easter Sunday. So, Monday's briefing, Wasac Virtual Assembly, EDC Legislative Committee meeting, Area Agency on Aging meeting, having coffee with another constituent, and then another Public Works Board Executive Committee meeting, driving to Belfair to go on a Belfair Water District tour. Friday the 5th is the EDC Legislative wrap-up meeting. I'm going to have to miss that, but I will be going to a Public Works Board meeting, but just wanted to remind people that that was going on. Then we're back here on Monday for our briefings, Wasac Virtual, and then our commission meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Moving forward today, have a meeting with Holly James from the Peninsula Alliance. Follow up with her on a couple items. Board of Health, Housing and Behavioral Health Advisory Board, MACECOM labor negotiations, chart of accounts update. I'll also be at the ribbon cutting at Cafe Marmo here in town. And then have a, nope, that was canceled, so that's nice. A couple of meetings to talk about housing this week as well. Back for briefings on the 1st in Wasac Virtual Assembly, MACECOM Supervisors meeting, and I'll also be at the legislative wrap-up. Unfortunately, I do have 2 conflicts with our utility rate meetings for Beards Cove in Russellwood. I trust that Commissioner Netherland will be attending those, and then I will be at the other 2 that are the following week for Belfair and North Bay. That is that.
Okay, a few things that weren't on the regular thing. I did end up with a special ORCA meeting Met with HR and Mark regarding some of the issues. Health officer interviews went extremely well. We'll be having our Board of Health later. Met with Green Diamond as we did individually. Chamber special meeting again. I ended up doing the canvassing board and the certification. I appreciate you stepping up for me. I was able, well, it got canceled, so I was able to stay and do it. Also had a special cemetery board meeting that was not called. So other than that, this next week, we have the Board of Health meeting. I'll be attending the Salary Commission one to say hello and welcome them tonight. I may also be at Sheriff's Breakfast. I have a North Mason School District Facilities meeting. I have 3 days in a row of meetings for the risk pool, including our regular board meeting. Normally we go off to do that. Something happened with the hotel, so we ended up, we're doing it all virtually. That's actually harder for me because there's so much you have to do, and I know I'll be in the car going from this meeting to that meeting trying to fit one more in, and I usually like to specifically focus on risk pool because there's a lot that goes on with that. Law library meeting, Port of Allen meeting regarding their water rates. Then they'll have a budget meeting that I'll be attending as well. The Risk Spring Conference as mentioned, ribbon cutting for Marmo Coffee. I may be actually attending. I don't usually do those. Rotary meeting, Russellwood Utilities, regular port meeting, law enforcement and firefighters meeting, Beards Cove meeting in this week. And then I think the other ones are next one after the meeting for Belfair and North Bay. But if not, I'll announce it now because I will be there also. And I try to drop in once in a while on the WASAC virtual briefings as well. We have our regular briefings, and that brings us back, and we start it over again. Is there anything further anybody would like to add that they missed?
Yeah, just one quick note. Yesterday at our briefings, we talked about the Latimer Landing dock and recommended reaching out to the Port of Hoodsport. So I talked to one of their commissioners, Cody Morris, yesterday, and so they're happy to help us with that. But he also mentioned that the Port of Allen recently went through a dock repair as well.
They're going through, yeah.
And so maybe they also have, some RFP stuff that we can piggyback on. So there's a couple options out there. 'Tis the season for dock repairs. So.
Well, then they have massive sea lions that are coming out there and getting on there, and then the orcas come in, so they really love to play on top of this thing. And they're not the little ones; they're huge. They're huge, but it's what it is. Don't tell me there's no salmon in there because there's no way you get that fat eating nothing. Okay, so with that being said, anything else to come before us?
Not for me.
Then I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
Hearing no objection, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. See y'all at what are we doing today?
3 o'clock.
We got 3 o'clock Board of Health. And